Hello there, in today's video we are talking about how to stop overthinking. How many of us have gotten ourselves into a situation where we end up overthinking everything, and that takes away from our power, our capability to be able to take action towards the direction that we always are meaning to take action towards, to be able to create results that we really want to create in our lives. And so today I wanted to address the topic of how you can stop overthinking, how you can help your clients stop overthinking. I'm going to give you some techniques that you can use to practice in your coaching sessions with your clients when they are finding themselves overthinking about everything. Now, before I get into the techniques, let's discover why do we overthink? Why is it that some of us tend to overthink everything and some of us tend to not overthink so much? So first of all, you need to understand that if you tend to overthink, it could be one of these reasons. One of the reasons why you tend to overthink is because you're a sensitive person, or as sometimes you may be called as an empath. That means that any information or any event that happens for you happens a lot more intensely for you. That means you take every nuanced thing as a full expression of something. Somebody says something in a meeting and you start thinking about that thing and you make your entire day about somebody saying something. There's a client of mine that tends to make up meanings about their business partners all the time. They tend to think and overthink what somebody might say and what they might have meant by saying something. And that is why when I'm talking to her often, I have to step back and wonder, why is she overthinking this? Why is it that she's making so much meaning out of that small statement that somebody might have said? And it was not until I realized that she was a sensitive person. She was an empath, which means she can get influenced even when she experiences somebody else's emotions. She's a sensitive person that can often get impacted by what may seem a really small thing otherwise. Another reason we tend to overthink is we are operating from the idea that you are a perfectionist, that you need to get everything perfectly and they should happen exactly as you want it. You feel like you need to have a sense of control to the outcome that you want of the journey that you're taking, that is life. And because of that control and need for outcome, you tend to overthink the circumstance that otherwise was a matter of a short thinking process or a matter of certain minutes. It may become a whole day-long thinking exercise because you're looking for the perfect outcome. You're looking for that perfect answer to your question. And while on the surface, sometimes overthinking may seem like the right thing to do, like you are a very thoughtful person, or you may feel like that is helping you really evaluate all the different scenarios, overthinking can be wildly disruptive and slow down your process of action taking and creation and moving towards the direction that you'd really want to take in life. A lot of times, overthinking also originates from the place of ego. Our ego wants to be certain. Our ego wants to be perfect. Our ego wants to know what is going to be the outcome. Our ego feels threatened. Our ego feels like somebody has done them wrong if a small statement or a small comment doesn't fall in alignment with who we are or how we see ourselves. So our ego may play a very important role in how and why we keep overthinking things. Now, these are the reasons you may be overthinking. I really encourage you to explore this idea with your clients and see what may be the reason for your clients to be overthinking or you to be overthinking. That is also our first technique, self-awareness. Awareness towards why are you overthinking? Why is it that something is taking so much mental space and energy for you is the first step to stop overthinking. You see, when you are aware that a particular overthinking pattern is happening because of your ego or your need for perfectionism, or because you're an empath and you're just a sensitive person, you will find that you have more capability and more control on your overthinking. You see, overthinking is a mechanism that we have to avoid failure. Overthinking is a mechanism that we have to respect our ego or fulfill our ego. Overthinking is a mechanism for us to be able to move towards that perfect answer. So it's a mechanism and it's a way of thinking. Once you have awareness to the way of thinking, you can change the thinking. You see, our thinking or our mind plays tricks with us. It plays tricks with us to keep us safe. We can turn it around and really focus on what we actually wanted to do. If you find yourself or your clients in an overthinking pattern, when you bring awareness that they are overthinking, you can ask questions that will move them away from just overthinking to actually taking action, to actually creating progress. When a client is overthinking about, say, a business idea, you can ask them open-ended questions that will allow them to move from a place of overthinking to a place of taking action. Why do you think you need to know the answer to all of your questions? Why do you believe that you need to have the perfect plan? What is it that inspires you to be able to create more movement towards the idea that you want to pursue? Open-ended questions help you switch perspective from thinking and overthinking about something to something that may be more helpful. So the first technique is about observing yourself thinking, actually bringing awareness towards what are you thinking, why are you thinking then, and what is a better way to think about that particular situation or in that particular circumstance. This will allow you to shift your perspective to go into more action-oriented, movement-oriented, better outcome-oriented direction in your thinking and in your actions. The second technique is to write down what you think. You see, most of us, when we're overthinking, we are repeating ourselves in a loop. It goes something like this. Mary told me that I was not a good speaker. How dare she thinks I'm not a good speaker? See, I have done these many trainings in speaking and I have done this in training. And then that one person that stood up and told me how great this session was. How can Mary think that I am not a good speaker? How can Mary say that to me? How can Mary say that in an open forum? And you will find yourself being in that loop minute after hour after hour, after days. Because what you're doing, what your mind is doing, is repeating the story to really emphasize the importance of the story, to again keep you safe, to keep you in a mode of getting the exact outcome that you really want. Your ego is trying to protect you. Whereas if you write down what you are really thinking and causing the overthinking, it forces you to make a statement and really let it out. So it's a process of taking all these thoughts that are just brimming in your mind to actually get on a piece of paper. And then now that you've written it, you may write a page, you may write 2 pages, but it will be out of your system instead of staying in your system and staying in your head. Because once you've written it once, you may not write it again. You most likely would let it go when you are writing it. And that allows you to step out of your overthinking mode into finding a solution mode, into a mode that allows you to define what really needs to happen for you to create progress. The third technique is the most powerful technique and is one of those things that are a little hard to practice. It is living in the now. You see, we think and overthink something because something that may have happened in the past or something that may be happening or we are projecting into the future. And because we are thinking about events in the past or projecting into the future, very often we forget that if we just lived in the moment, if we lived in the experience that we really signed up for, if we lived in the experience of our purpose every day, day after day, there is no reason to overthink. Because overthinking is not a supporter of creation. And you are a creator. You need to create. You need to express your creative energy. And more you're expressing your creative energy, less you need to overthink about what may have happened in the past and what may happen in the future. You see, when a painter is painting, when a singer is singing, when an artist is writing music, not all of their music is defined and created for an outcome. Most of it is done for the sense of joy. And that is exactly what you want to do as a coach, as a creator, as a trainer, as an educator. Whatever is the role that you've decided to take in the world, whatever is the role that your client has decided to take in the world, the point is not to get to the outcome. The point is to live the experience of that creation, live the experience of that life that is flowing through you, that is there present in front of you to experience to the fullest of it. Practicing to live in the now, to bring your attention from the past and the future to the moment that you're living, to be able to bring that attention and to be able to live that attention, live that purpose on a daily basis is the best way for you to stop overthinking, stop overanalyzing, stop over complicating things that are fairly simple if you approached it from your true heart, from your energy, from your being of someone who lives on purpose. I would love to hear from you. What are some of the practices that you may be doing or you may think were interesting as I talked about them about overthinking? What are some of those practices that you may find yourself using for yourself or for your clients? Share with me in the comment section below. If any of these techniques would help you stop overthinking, hit that like button and share it with a friend that might be overthinking as well. If for some reason you still haven't subscribed to this channel, I invite you to hit that red subscribe button and subscribe to this channel, because every single week we bring a great presentation, a great video for you that you can use in your life and in your coaching business. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ajit Navlakha and you're watching this on the EverCoach channel.